My pleasure.
Willie, we've walked down memory lane a lot because it seems like that's so dear to us. And back in, it was 91 when we met, right?
Yes.
In the infamous elevator. And you were fresh into our national speakers. People hear me talk about it all the time because, that's how we all met Jeannie.
Right.
I mean, we love Jeannie.
We love
And
yes.
Yeah, she was incredible. And you and I in that elevator, and we had something in common. You want to tell everybody 2 things we had in common. You remember what I'm going to say?
Well, I know one of the things, you can tell the other, but we both were singers who were trying to figure out how to become speakers. We had been singers, and now we were trying to discover the singing, and we really didn't know whether that would jibe with this new industry or not. And so we were kind of questioning if this would be an asset or a detriment to our success, that we were going to also have this singing as part of our programming. So it was quite a experience when they were coming through past the morning worship service, and you said, "You can sing." I was singing in the, behind her, standing behind her, singing a hymn or something, and she says, "You can sing." And so anyway, that was one of the things we talked about.
And we, of course, probably already mentioned it. We were both newbies.
Yes.
And we were navigating through some interesting waters back then, running into people like Ziglar and goodness.
But we wanted to be successful when we were.
Oh, absolutely.
So these superstars who were in the speaking business, Brian Tracy and Ziglar and Jim
Les Brown.
And so it was amazing. And then there were the ones who were not well known, but who were very wealthy, who were well known in the corporate sphere. So it was quite an experience, but we navigated it and we figured it out. And a few years later, we opened up the national convention with a version of the Star-Spangled Banner that is, to this day, over 30 years later, still being talked about as the greatest opening of any convention ever.
I know.
See that on YouTube, by the way. My version of the national anthem with Jane Herlong. It's a 2-stanza version that I've never heard before. Jane brought it to me.